Hello and hello. Thank you so much for joining me today. How you doing? I feel like reacting to some German landscapes. You know, I mean, just look at it. Damn. It's quite beautiful. And this dude, Ryan Shirley, he's the GOAT at filming some landscapes. Check him out, link down below. Awesome videos. Top 10 places in Bavaria. Bavaria. Potato, potato. Bavaria. Let's do it.
What's up, guys? My name is Ryan Shirley, and I just returned.
Okay, that was kind of trippy. I thought that was like a weird dub. Like he was speaking a different language or something.
What's up, guys? My name is Ryan Shirley.
What's up, guys?
And I just returned from a road trip across Bavaria, and I want to show you some of my favorite places. So here is my Bavaria top 10. Bavaria is home to some of Europe.
Little barns were for.
Bavaria is home to some of Europe's most magical landscapes, from endless castles to medieval fairy tale towns. Bavaria is a destination that needs to be explored. Let's start this video off in the town.
Damn, I mean, oh my god. It's like someone painted it. It's like a painter said, hey, go make this a reality.
Of Berchtesgaden. Now I have to say this is one of the most beautiful towns in all of Germany. It's just a 2-hour drive from Munich and it's nestled in the Bavarian Alps. One of my favorite features of Berchtesgaden is the Watzmann Mountain. It's a uniquely shaped peak that towers over the town. It almost looks like someone took a bite out of it. One thing I love about Berchtesgaden is there's so many beautiful churches to explore. One of my favorites is the church in Ramsau. It's right next to this beautiful stream, and there's this picture perfect bridge to observe the church from. Another one of my favorites is the Maria Jern Church, which offers a perfect view of the Watzmann Mountain. One of the main reasons I wanted to go to Berchtesgaden was to visit Hitler's Eagle's Nest. Now I'm really fascinated with World War II history, and I had to see this place for myself. Now the Eagle's Nest was built in 1939 and was given to Hitler.
I don't know anything about that, to be honest.
For his 50th birthday. Now to get to the Eagle's Nest, you can take a bus up. When you get to the top, you'll walk through a deep tunnel.
Who gave it to him?
Into the mountain. When I was in there, it was just crazy to think that Hitler walked these same walls. Now at the end of the tunnel, there's a
that is eerie
circular room that leads you into a golden elevator. Even though the Eagle's Nest and the road leading up to it cost nearly 200 million euros to make, adjusted for inflation, Hitler only visited it on 14 documented occasions. This may be because Hitler was afraid of heights, and he was also scared of using the elevator.
No, he was afraid of an elevator. What a pansy.
Thankfully, the Eagle's Nest wasn't destroyed in World War II, and today it's a restaurant with panoramic views. And while you're there, you can hike up some walking paths into the Berchtesgaden National Park, enjoying the
no offense to anyone afraid of using elevators. I just, you know, you're allowed to make fun of Hitler, I think.
Incredible sights of this historical destination. Afterwards, we're going to head back to Berchtesgaden to visit the lake Königssee. Now the lake was created by glaciers, which makes it feel like you're in a fjord you'd see in Norway or New Zealand. When I was there, we took a boat ride to the end of the lake. It cost around 15 euros and took about 50 minutes to cross the lake. Now the first stop was to the famous St. Bartholomew's Church. We kept going and we reached the end of the lake. We then hiked about 10 minutes to reach Obersee. I mean, just home to this iconic lake hut, and the scenery there is just astounding. I mean, the lake's so clear, and it's just surrounded by massive mountain walls that are hard to explain. I mean, I just had a great time enjoying the scenery around the lake. Definitely got to explore Königssee and Obersee.
This place is unbelievable. This makes me so glad to be Bavarian. Bavarian. Why do I keep... I feel like I do that a lot. Bavaria has the greatest landscapes history. Now I'm like questioning myself. Okay, we need to know for sure.
Bavaria.
Bavaria. I knew that. Just had to make sure. Bavaria has the greatest landscapes history, maybe buildings, but honestly it feels like I'm in a real life folktale. That is how it looks. It feels that way because that's how it looks.
While you're in,
it's good to know it's not something, you know, that you just kind of take for granted. I'm sure it can be easy to take it for granted.
Berchtesgaden. Now afterwards, we're going to visit the magical village of Rothenburg. Now when you go to Rothenburg, you'll feel like you're
I mean, even the architecture is just as beautiful as the natural landscapes.
walking in a fantasy movie. It's one of the most preserved medieval old towns in all of Europe. During the Middle Ages, Rothenburg thrived as it was located at the crossroads of European trade routes. At the beginning of the 15th century, it rose to becoming the second largest city in all of Germany, but during the 17th century, Rothenburg faced adversities such as the 30-Year War.
I'm just wondering, honestly, I'm just curious about the laws as far as, obviously I'm aware you're not allowed to film people's faces in Germany without their, well, you're at least not allowed to publish it, footage of people's faces without their consent. And here, I mean, you can kind of make out people's faces, but, I mean, it's like, it's sped up. What's the freaking word I'm looking for? It's a time lapse. It's a time lapse, so, a lot of things are blurry. But I guess it's okay since they're not the main focus of the footage.
At the beginning of the 15th century, it rose to becoming the second largest city in all of Germany, but during the 17th century, Rothenburg faced adversities such as the 30-Year War and the bubonic plague. Without much resources, Rothenburg's growth was halted, which aided in keeping the town preserved in its medieval state. Today, Rothenburg maintains its medieval charm, and it's been the inspiration for sets of Disney movies such as Pinocchio. If you go, you can check out the famous Floating Corner or witness the beautiful Christmas markets. I mean, just hard to beat the allure of this German village. From Rothenburg, you can make the 3-hour drive to the beautiful city of Munich, also known as Bavaria's.
I want to do a video on, buying a house in this place, I feel like it must cost a lot of money. Maybe not, I don't know, but it's just so beautiful. It's like everybody on Earth probably wants to live there.
Capital. Munich is located in the south of Germany, about 50 kilometers from the Alps. During World War II, Munich was heavily bombed by over 70 air raids, but today the city is restored to its former beauty. One of the most popular spots is the Marienplatz, Central Square. You'll find the new town hall with its stunning clock tower and historical figurines. After Munich, we're going to head to the top of Germany to visit the Zugspitze mountain. Now with a height of 2,962 meters, easily one of the most impressive mountains in all of Germany.
Wow.
Zugspitze is located south of Garmisch-Partenkirchen, and the easiest way to reach the top of the mountain is by a cable car. It costs around 60 euros, and it's one of the biggest gondolas I've ever been in. It holds several world records, including the longest free span in a cable car, with a distance of more than 3,000 meters. Honestly, an engineering phenomenon and a little scary going up. The cable car is quite the experience, and once you reach the
Leave it to the Germans to figure out something like that.
top, you can explore the
You guys have crazy elevators, obviously great cars. You're really great at the transportation innovations, huh?
mountain
And engineering.
station. I mean, it really blew me away.
Trains.
Way up there. It totally reminded me of an evil villain's lair. There's a great restaurant and platforms to observe the scenery below. One thing,
Whoa. I mean, I'm
villain's
not
lair. There's a great restaurant and platform.
I'm not afraid of heights like Hitler, but that would be spooky, I'm not gonna lie. Jesus. That is a long way down.
To observe the scenery below. One thing that I thought was interesting is you can walk through this tunnel and it'll take you to the Austrian side of Zugspitze. Now from the platform on the German side, you can see the summit cross. Me and my brother decided we wanted to climb to the top.
I've never seen anything like this.
The snow made it a little sketchy, but we held on tight to the iron wire and climbed a ladder and made it to the cross. I mean, the views were unreal up there. I mean,
Oh my god. Is that as sketchy as it looks?
iron wire and climbed a ladder and made it to
What? I mean, you better have some kind of rope attached to the wire, right? No? You just hold on?
the cross. I mean, the views
my
were
God.
unreal up there. I mean, if you go in the summertime, I'm sure it's not as sketchy to summit this. Now, after Zugspitze, you can take the cable car down to visit the lake Eibsee. Now, it's known as the Maldives of the Alps with its clear water and tree-dotted islands. I mean, the color of the water there is astounding. Now, if you have time, I definitely recommend walking along the lake It's full of beautiful groves of trees and a perfect place to relax on the shoreline and enjoy some Bavarian nature. Now afterwards, we're gonna...
No wonder you guys love nature so much over there in Germany. You know, you guys are like, we got to preserve the nature. Yeah, when your nature looks like this, I bet you're like, yeah, you need to preserve that. It's really important. For me, it's a little bit more of an abstract concept. You know, I look outside, it's a bunch of corn. And I'm like, yeah, let's preserve that. Then again, of course, humans are the ones that put the corn there. I'm kind of joking, but you know what I'm saying. Indiana doesn't look like this.
We're gonna head over to
Sadly.
Wagenbrüssee. This is one of the most scenic places in all of Bavaria. I mean, I was just baffled by this place. It's this beautiful little lake.
It looks like a golf course.
Nestled in the mountains, and it's full of farm sheds that dot the
That'd be the coolest golf course in the world.
hillside. Now the lake is overlooked by the...
Of course, that would kind of ruin it. But still.
perfectly placed Karwendel Alps. I mean, it reminded me a lot of Alpe de Sucy in the Dolomites.
Oh my god, it looks like the Lion King. It's Pride Rock.
I had such a fun time exploring here. I just walked down a little dirt road to get there, and it was a spectacular place to enjoy the Bavarian sunset. I mean, it was definitely one of the highlights of my trip. I'm jealous of all the farmers who have sheds there. After, we're going to head to the beautiful town of Füssen. Now, located right at the foot of the Bavarian Alps, Füssen is a 700-year-old medieval city full of old world charm. Its streets are lined with cobblestones, and you feel like you're walking back in time as you explore it. I just love all the classical German houses, and I think it's so cool how the milky blue River Lech runs right next to...
How is the river that blue? The Ohio River, which is the closest one to me, is like brown. It couldn't be more opposite. Why is this like straight up blue on a cloudy day?
the town. The crowning feature of Füssen is the High Castle. I mean, it just adds so much character to the town. If you really want to go back in time, I mean, you just gotta give Füssen a visit. Now for our final destination, we're gonna visit the iconic Neuschwanstein Castle. I have to say that it is the most beautiful castle in all Europe. It's what inspired Disney's Sleeping Beauty castle. I mean, it's just the perfect place for a princess. Now the castle is nestled at
I would love to go there.
the very tip of southern Germany. Neuschwanstein Castle is placed perfectly in the mountains with a phenomenal 360 view of the Bavarian Alps and the town below. The construction of the castle began in 1869. During World War II, the SS debated blowing up the castle to prevent it from falling into the enemy's hands, but thankfully it never happened. Today, the castle receives over 1.4 million visitors a year, so it's definitely a tourist hotspot. When I was there, we walked around the castle.
Would that be like a tactical decision? They didn't want the enemies to take over that castle? Like, I don't think of World War I as being, a war with castles. Like, what's... I guess it's a good strategic point to have. I mean, it looks pretty tough, I guess. You gonna fire cannonballs out of it, or what?
When you're up close, you realize how huge it really is. King Ludwig had some imagination. Anyways, I found a great vantage point in the trees with a perfect view of the castle. I mean, I just can't get over the beauty of this place. I mean, it's truly something out of a Disney fairy tale. Afterwards, you can walk around Alpsee. It's another picturesque alpine lake with views of the Hohenschwangau Castle. Now, another
I don't think I've ever seen that one. The Yellow Castle.
incredible spot nearby is St. Coloman's Church. It's located just a few minutes away and has a splendid view of the castle and the Bavarian Alps. One of my favorite memories of my time in Bavaria was just enjoying the sunset at the church, just marveling at the green pastures and overall
It's amazing how flat this pasture is among the landscape of, these giant mountains. It's interesting.
scenery. Bavaria truly is a magical place. Well, that is it for my Bavaria top 10. Let me know where your favorite place is in Bavaria in the comments below. I also started with
I don't know, man. It all looked like 10 out of 10 to me. I arrived in Mittelfranken, northern Bavaria, back in the summer of '93. I was stationed in Nuremberg and Schweifert from '93 to '97, U.S. Army. I married a German Frau and stayed to raise my 3 kids. Every summer before COVID, I used to travel to Garmisch, Berchtesgaden, or other places along the German-Austrian border to go hiking or climbing. To me, Bavaria is the most beautiful state in all of Germany. Schon. Grüß. Shout out to any Bavarians out there. Bavarians. See, I did it again. Y'all are lucky. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching.